Hello bikers! Bikers United! Here we are with another episode about all the things you need to know about proper biking. Whatever that means, it means to be safe and to have fun and to bike in a way that is good for you, good for others, that prevents you from having accidents and these kind of things. So, today we're talking about two things that happen a lot around to bikers. And something that you probably saw in your life if you are using a motorbike or if you are just driving a car in the traffic, you will see sometimes one of the two things happen. The first thing that happens is comes a motorcycle, tries to come to a stoplight, traffic light, whatever you want to call it, and just while it slows down, it drops. Bang! It goes down. Just like that. For no apparent reason, just stops and oops, goes down. What happened? The other thing you might have seen sometimes when, bikers are, particularly those with the big bikes, bit heavy bikes, try to push the bike outside of a parking place. And they push and at the moment, poof, the motorbike goes down. And in both cases, you will probably notice that the poor biker is under the motorcycle. Very bad. But what happened? What has happened that make the biker drops their motorbike in those circumstances? Well, it might be a number of things, okay? It might be that the guy didn't feel good at the moment, it might be that he got distracted, doesn't matter. Can be a lot of things, but what realistically probably happened is that he was not wearing the proper shoes to bike. Easy as that. Okay, on the shoe side is one of the most important elements of a gear of a biker. You have your helm, okay, that saves your life. But in order of importance, the second element that's probably the most important one is the shoes. There are several kinds of shoes you should never wear. One of the things I even saw with my own eyes is people wearing nothing, bare feet on a motorcycle. I saw it happen. I have no words to describe the horror I felt at that time. It's one of the worst possible ideas you can have if you want to get injured. Please go ahead, that's a fantastic way of really getting hurt. Nothing on your feet while riding is... okay. The second thing that you see sometimes is people, particularly in the summer, on the beach, the sea, and they are trying to ride on those beach slippers, the things with the things in between the toes and the floppy things. Okay, that's something that you might see as well. But actually, what you see most of the times is people wearing another kind of shoes. A lot of commuters in particular, which is the vast majority of riders are commuters, are actually wearing the shoes that they are supposed to wear while at the work, at the office, okay? So if they are kind of office guys, they will probably wear these kind of things, alright? And they might have a suit and they might have a nice jacket and so on, but they will probably wear these kind of shoes. Now these kind of shoes are very bad. Okay, let's be direct about this. These are very bad for riding. They look good, they're perfect under a suit, on a date they might make a difference, whatever. But for riding, no. You know why? This one. This explains why the famous guy trying to push a motorcycle outside of a parking lot drops the motorbike. Because he slips. He slips on this sole that is not made for holding anything. This is flat, there's no profile. This is kind of plastic rubber, so it has a little bit of grip, but just a little bit. Those leather ones have no grip whatsoever. Nothing. nothing at all. So as soon as you try to push your foot in order to, you know, move the motorcycle back, the first thing that happens is your foot slips like this, whoop, and the motorbike, which is already bent a bit on the side because you want to put the most weight you can on this leg, so on this foot, we slip, support will go away, and the motorbike drops. Biker is underneath the motorbike. Not good. Okay, so no grip here, very bad, but it has a second problem as well. Commuters should know that. Look at these beautiful things here. You know what these are? These are shoestrings. Shoestrings are made to make sure that the shoe remain on your feet. As an added bonus, shoestrings are specialized to get stuck anywhere on your motorbike, particularly on the gear shift pedal and on the brake pedal. But I can get stuck in a lot of other places. Anything that sticks out, or when these things can get stuck in, they will eventually do. Anything that is, you know, like this kind of thing, it will get stuck somewhere, to get entangled somewhere. As soon as that happens, your foot will not be able to go on the ground because you are stuck to the motorcycle. And as soon as that happens, you don't have support on one side of the motorcycle, and as soon as you need support on that side of the motorcycle, you will drop the bike. This explains the motorcycle going down at the traffic light. So he's driving nice and easy, and he doesn't realize that one of his feet is actually stuck. So as soon as he prepares to put his foot down and he starts to bend in order to allow him to do better, there you go, the foot doesn't go, remains where it is, the motorcycle is already bent, and it doesn't have anything to support it, and it drops, and the biker is still underneath the motorbike. Not fun. Other little details, so apart from the slipping and the getting entangled and stuck with all these beautiful shoestrings here, weather protection, I mean, we're talking cold, we're talking rain, we're talking basically anything that you can possibly get against your feet. This thing will protect nothing. It's very thin material, it is not made for being used outside in general. Even walking in the rain will destroy these shoes. And you know, when you're biking, you are normally going for distances, so the chance you get a bit of a rain or a bit of a cold or whatever is there. And the first time it happens, you can throw this away. And these are not cheap shoes, by the way. And fourth, but not least, you have your gear shift on the left, right? Gear shift on the left, which means you have to put this side under the pedal in order to shift gears up. And that will create a beautiful hole just here. Beautiful, nice hole. And, well, again, you can throw the shoes away. Easy. So this is the typical commuter shoes, and this is the typical reason why a lot of commuters and casual riders are dropping their bike, for one of the two reasons I mentioned before. Summertime, beautiful summertime. It is too warm to avoid going for a ride. Everybody takes the bike out of the garage and they go for the first bike, and a beautiful weather, and they go, okay, you know what, I'm going out and I'm gonna go with my favorite shoes, which are most of the times these babies here, or something like that. These are sport shoes, running shoes in particular. Okay, these are very cool. They are comfortable. They're very comfortable. I mean, nothing is more comfortable than a running shoe by definition. But should you go riding with these ones? Well, I don't know. The grip is there. There is a lot of grip on these shoes, that's for sure, because they are, they're running shoes, so they are supposed to have a lot of grip. But they are still having the shoestrings. There you go, all stuff that can get stuck somewhere. It will get stuck somewhere. And so on the motorbike, the difference between this one and this one is just half of it. I mean, this will not slip, but will get stuck. This will slip and will get stuck. Both. Alright? So both of them are not very good. This is better than this one, but they are not very good at all. Okay. Now, Mr. Genius. So what is the right shoe to wear when you're riding a bike? Oh God, I have to think about this one. Okay, no bare feet, no slippers, open shoes for the beach, no tennis shoes, no office shoes. You know, this is going to be difficult. What about motorbike boots? I just came to think about it, and maybe motorbike boots are the solution to this problem. Yeah, I like the idea. Motorbike boots could fit the bill. What about them? Yeah, I mean, motorbike boots, you know, the serious motorbike boots, those are looking cool motorbike boots, the real ones, are having a lot of grip. True. I mean, they're engineered to be motorbike boots, so they have a lot of grip. They are very sturdy, and they will defend you from the weather, and they have no shoestrings. They never have shoestrings. I don't know if you know this, but they never have shoestrings. So they sound perfect, right? But guys, have you ever tried to walk on a pair of motorbike boots? They are terrible. You walk like a duck on one of those. And the reason why is that the motorbike boot is made to be sturdy. They are not made to be flexible, they are not made to be elegant, they are not made to be beautiful. They are made for riding a bike and nothing else than that. So you walk like a duck, they are looking very, very strange, and they're very uncomfortable, despite the fact that you walk like a duck. But suppose you don't care about that. They are really uncomfortable because they're very tight, and particularly on the ankles, they're very, very tight. You don't want to, take the bike for a ride and then having a walk in town and maybe do some groceries or meeting a friend or something like that, walking a couple of miles on those things, you will get crazy. It's a terrible way of walking on anything as uncomfortable as a motorbike boot. The real ones, those are the motor racers use. Apart from that, motorbike boots are expensive, guys, are really, really expensive, because they're specialized kind of equipment for motorbikers. And everything that has the riding specialized equipment makes you very poor. And if this kind of equipment solves only half of the problem or not the rest of the problem, so it allows you to ride but not to walk, and you want to walk after you've done your ride, doesn't work, right? I mean, so motorbike boots, unless you need to race, and I wish you can race, I wish you can have fun in racing, be safe, but then you need motorbike boots, because the only thing you will do at that time is riding. But if you want to have something that is good for basically all occasions, and that is good for riding as much as walking, as much as being in the office, as much as going on a date, for whatever, you need to find something that is a good compromise, a good idea. I might have an idea for you, and it is just an option, but it works for me. It works for me for many years now, and I can highly recommend it. So, may I introduce you to the half boot? This is a leather boot. I have it now many years, as a matter of fact, and I've been riding with this, I don't know how many million miles. I have no idea anymore, I lost count. But anyway, these kind of things have all the characteristics you need to have both the riding and the walking and the whatever. First and most importantly, it has a very beautiful deep profile, and it is anti-slip. Good grip on the ground in whatever circumstances, including rain and including mud. It will hold its grip, and it will not abandon you when you're pushing your motorcycle outside of a parking lot, which is something I did a lot of times. Secondly, no shoestrings, nothing that gets stuck here. You see, it doesn't get stuck nowhere. And so the second problem is solved. You will not drop the motorcycle at the traffic light. I'm living in a cold country, and I'm actually driving with these boots also when it is summer, just because it has good characteristics. It keeps you warm. Don't know if you can see it, but there is a kind of a thing that keeps you warm, and can be made as waterproof as you want. You just use one of those sprays or something that you put on it and keeps the rain out, and then you can wear these kind of things basically everywhere. I mean, I go to the office sometimes with these boots on, and even under a suit, they are more than presentable. Should you be in the position that you want to go on a date, well, this will also fit the bill. And if you want to walk for many miles with this ones on, they will walk nicely. Look at this, nice. So, among all options, being serious now, among all options for biking, I think the most frequent problem that I observe so many times is that people don't realize that their shoes are so important. You don't need to go for a specialized piece of equipment to be safe and to be comfortable and to be able to ride as much as you walk. These guys here are a no-no, and it doesn't matter how much they're beautiful and and how much you love them. And I love these shoes very much, but I know that if I try to go biking with these ones, I will end up in troubles for this reason and this reason. In the summer, I can use these ones, but I'm always very, very careful. And what I do with these shoestrings, I tuck them underneath these other ones. Oh, sorry. I tuck them here, such as the shoestrings are completely compacted like this. So nothing sticks out, nothing can get entangled in the part of the motorcycle that I used to have. Now I have a scooter, but nevertheless I still do this because it's still possible you get stuck somewhere with this kind of stuff. When I was having the motorcycle, I never used these shoes because they were getting wasted really quickly. Now I have a scooter, so I don't need to shift gear. I don't have pedals anymore. So these are becoming a bit more interesting, but they're still not really fit for purpose. I try to avoid using this ones. So there you go. Just a few ideas. I strongly recommend to find, first of all, the right shoes. Take into account those small precautions I told you about. But really strong invitation to avoid at all costs for the commuters among us to wear these kind of things, because I saw so many of you falling from the motorbike, dropping the motorbike, getting hurt, being totally ridiculous, getting hurt. It's not worth it, guys. Just think about it. You can have, for a few pennies, well, a few more than 2 pennies, but certainly less than a Motorbike Boots. You can buy one of these, or more than one, as a matter of fact, and they look cool and they're comfortable for riding the bike, and then use this one only at the office. And you can have both, because the best friend of any motorbiker, the backpack, is made for that. You put this in the in the backpack, you carry them with you, you ride with this one, you arrive at the office, you switch, you switch, you switch, and you have the best of all worlds, safely and for a very affordable price. So here you go. Thank you very much. Till next time.